What is up, people, and welcome back to the channel. We're back on this once we've got all this stuff out of the way. So I put the body on. This is the last time this body's going to be on this, just to check so we are level. We're pretty level with where we need to be, as in to this and this and down there. So roughly this is where it's going to sit. Say roughly, it's very closely to where it's going to sit. We're nice and in level here. And the roof bars are sitting lovely. We've got a little gap there. And we've got a little gap there. And the gap in the middle is like, what did we say, fingerish. Finger and a half. And we're close here. Can't get your fingers in. So you can't go much more than that. Do you know what I mean? And that one is really close there. So we are about where we can get away with height-wise. That is a...
Here's what I found.
Shut up, you... My watch was just telling me about burns. Coincidental. So, that is fitting really nice. And this sort of coincides with the angle of this as well. Instead of it just coming up, I could have put that bend further in that corner, but it would have just stood up. So I think that's more of a slope. Quite like it. So, that is where that is. Now, this one, the chap wanted the bars going here to here. But I cannot make my mind up because there is not a lot of room. Do you know what I mean? It's still got to come up right next to this, which is about where this is anyway. You know, we are less than a finger gap here. And all it will have is a little turn where I know the seat comes, you know, quite close here. So I might leave them out. You know what I mean? I mean, the chap who's having this, Chris, he builds race cars. That's what he does. He maintains race teams. And so I got my faith he can put a few bars in, because he's shown me some bars he's done. So this is going to a decent home, and I know he can weld. So I think he can just come up with those couple of bars, but he can put them at the angle needed to go round the... Because you can have it coming up to here, or you could have it coming out to here. I mean, some of Owen's ones are right up here to allow for the wing on the seat. But I think that needs to be done once the seat's in and positioned. Right, so what we're going to do now is take the body off. And the body can just be draped over that. Now, I don't need the body anymore. So the body can go back to custom minis. And we'll start getting this front end back, which means dialing the chassis back into the table, putting the subframe on, and then start knocking up the bars, the rest of the bars. Right, people. So, the chassis is on. We are up against my stop. We've got these two centres in, and they actually centralise the front of the chassis. And we've gone round it, and we've checked all our side measurements. We've checked our front to back measurements from there to there. Then all the way from the heel board to there. So we know our chassis square. Then we put our subframe on, and we've done the same again, even though we know these are square because they're bolted. So I've got dowels to that square. We've got our measuring thing out. Hang on, can you turn the light on this? Hold. There we go. So put that on there. Zero it out. Put it on there. So that's 0.05. Put it on there. 0.05. Put it on here. That's 0.25, but you've got to allow for... These are old washers. Yeah? So just chuck it on there, make sure. Bang on zeros. Put it on top of here. These are a bit beat up as well. They've got bits of weld on them. So that is 15 maybe. 0. This is all bits of weld on here. But it's just nice to get a bit of a rough where we are kind of thing. 10. You know what I mean? So we know this is all square. chassis square. We know everything up there is square. And we know the chassis is in the middle of the table. So from that, we can determine we are ready to go. See, I use these ones most of the time just for sticking everywhere because they're magnetic, and yeah, these are just sort of just sitting in there. Upon the notches are that nice. The tube just sits in there. Considering this is that way, it should drop. But so I use these little ones everywhere just because they're just cheap. And then I have proper. These are one of the ones that go beep 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 when it's proper level. It's a really good one, but I don't use it that much because I don't want to risk any damage. And then I've got normal little Neville's. You know, you can never have enough measuring equipment. So what we've got to do now is we've got to finish up these. Make sure these are parallel with each other. This distance doesn't matter because we know everything's square. And these, I think it's that one. This is, I think, a couple of millimeters further forward. It's just the way everything moves. You know, it's not an actual science, this. But you'll find out it's better than most. So, we've got to make these work. These fit. And then we've got the ones to go here. And then we've got the leg to go down to there. Which are all here. They're cut. They just need to be finished notched. So, that and that. And then we've got to put our X in. Up here. So it come from here to there. And that really stabilises these then. So, yeah. We'll crack on with that first. And it's just simple stuff, really. It's like this 425. It just goes in. Is that 45 notch? I don't know what I've done here. Well, yeah, so basically this one, once it's finished, that is, it'll go in there somewhere like that. Yeah? Yeah, I've already got the line on here, look. So that'll go somewhere in there like that. Or about there-ish. Somewhere around about there anyway. All right. I'll crack on with this and you could just sit and watch. Right, boys and girls, so we have got our two triangulations. One either side, they are identical basically, to within a couple of mil. Yeah, so you want to get your angles and your notches as close as you can get them at this point. Because otherwise, if this moves, you're going to struggle to get one of these on the bottom of it. Do you know, if the angle's slightly different either side, you'll be twisting your subframe up and down. So you need to try and get these notches as nice as possible. Yeah, really nice. We'll drop this one down. So this is notched into this. And then this is notched into this. So this will get fully welded first. So this doesn't move. It's solid. So welding this to this, I know this isn't going to move. And then this gets welded. Oh, get off the underneath. Yeah? Hang on. Like that. So when I'm welding this to this isn't moved. So then this is just reinforcing this. Yeah? And then we've got another bar to put in yet, which goes here, which is basically the reinforcement for the reinforcement. So you've got the proper bar, which is giving you your dimension and keeping everything straight. And this is to stop this going up anywhere. Then this is to stop this going up anywhere. So you've got like 3 layers of reinforcement, all triangulation. This, it ain't going to go up, you know what I mean? This is decent tube as well. This isn't your run-of-your-mill scrap stuff. So we've done that. So now what we need to do, before we can really make these, I mean, I could hold it up, pop a tack, then make these, suppose, and then Then the last time I did them, see, I welded this in, then welded that in, then made this. Just trying to streamline the process, do you know what I mean? Right, I'm going to crack on. I hope you don't mind me just doing them the way I'm doing them. All this is just notching. Yeah, which is the way I've been telling you, you know, mark it with a pen, chop it off, mark it with a pen, chop it off. Creep up on your dimension, right? And then we've got to put our X in. So I can't really put the X in yet because I put the X, I know it's on the inside, but let me look on the inside for you. So we've got this joint here. The X incorporates all 3 tubes. So it doesn't just go on this one. It sits across the base of all 3 tubes. So it's tied into all 3. Yeah, so these have to be welded in before I can put the X in. I've already cut the X bars over there. Right, let's carry on. So there we go again. Bottom bar, fully welded in. Nice, good size welds, plenty of penetration in there. You can see the heat transfer. I did have to do slight adjustments in there to get to the weld where this tube fits to the weld. This is really hard. I can just feel I'm gonna burn my fucking self. So yeah, we've got those sort of welds here. You know what I mean? Decent welds all the way around. And you really need to move with a bit of pace. Not as in rush your welds, but you want to try, I really want to wipe that bit of dirt. That bit of brown dirt there. But no, I'm not going to, because I'm going to burn myself. You want to try and get your welding done, and there's a bit of black dirt there. See how annoying that is? Put my glove back on. We'll see. You see how it looks like there's a stop. Wipes off, see? And all these, it's just dirt that comes out whilst you're welding. God, that's warm. So they are not going to fall off, can we agree? So now what we're going to do is we're going to make our secondary triangle for here. This isn't having any gussets on. Normally you wouldn't see any of these nice welds because this gets covered in a gusset. He's going to do them himself, so I'm guessing he's going to gusset it, whatever. Yeah, right.